Outside, some distance away, the commander of XOOR, Zuvian Occult Operations Regiment, Brigadier M. Cotter, surveyed the area in front of his position with his highly enchanted Visus binoculars. No signs of movement on the surface. Our scouts could not be wrong. This is Arajakal's underground temple, I am sure, he thought as he removed the ornate viewing device from his eyes. Riding alongside him were his two highest-ranking war magicians. The three powerful spellcasters were atop a small rise of black sand, mounted on heavily barded steeds. The horses stood perfectly still, as if they were carved from granite. There was not so much as a twitching of an ear or a flick of the tail. Zuvian overlords had trained these native horses with intense, magically induced pain from an early age. The officer's armor carried few indications of rank or social stature. Its surface was dulled with an infrared proof, painted camouflage pattern of red, dark green, and black. A slight breeze swept up fine trails of black dust around the horse's hooves. Several hundred meters behind, there were 5 armadillo-armored personnel carriers. Each of these formidable war machines sported a dorsal turret, mounted medium Gatling gun, and could transport 12 troopers. Another 500 meters further back were the 8 mortar crews that Brigadier Cotter had insisted on, surrounded by infantry and mounted war magicians. The brigadier turned to face his accompanying officers. 6 repetitions. Drilling explosive. Fire for effect, he ordered in a stern, efficient voice, gesturing to indicate the deep blue mass of rock where Arajakal and his order had dwelled for the past 14 years. With a telepathic command from Major Glenrig, one of the officers with the commander, the heavy 90 mortars were detached from the Primus horses that towed them. Primus horses are larger and stronger than the draft horses of pre-ancient Earth. Native to New Hades, they were often used to carry or tow heavy loads. They were also a preferred mount for brave and experienced warriors. With impeccable military precision, the weapons were rolled and swung into position by their struts, and had their base plates fixed to the ground by manually operated inbuilt drills. Then the bombardier responsible for each trained on the target, with the massive hydraulic system that elevated and traversed them. It was a full 30 seconds before the first volley of drilling explosive shells were blasted high into the air to descend sharply on the underground fortress. The effect did not look spectacular when viewed from afar. 48 muffled explosions in volleys of 8 and rising clouds from the spasms of agitated black dust. Underground, however, it was a different and more harrowing scene. Meanwhile, nearby, Arajakal was preparing himself for battle when the first wave of explosions shook the earth violently around him. With a deafening, thunderous blast, fragments of Prussian blue stone flew from the walls and impacted his face and hands. Elsewhere in the tunnels, explosions had blown some of his order to pieces. Others lay trapped or dead under the rubble and dust. It was obvious to Arajakal that if he did not emerge from his hold of fight, that he and his children would perish like common rats.